mathematically it's a square. So there's a promise in the mathematical reading, and there's a promise in the Vedic. Okay, in the Vedic is that he had obstacles overcoming the sense of inhumanity of others. Okay, this would be the Saturn. This would be the Saturn trine Uranus, and his discipline against the inhumanity of others, because Uranus is in Aries. Uranus also represents rough treatment, because it rules storms and turbulence and impacts, and and unexpected tragic events. And in the sign of Aries, excuse me?
Pardon me, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was wondering if Destiny, if the Destiny...
I'm gonna mute my mic again. My son's back. Hold on. I'm listening though.
Yeah, she can't answer that question. She can't answer that question right now, Marco. Okay, so, yeah, at any rate, Uranus and Aries bring unexpected or rough treatment through violence, because Aries is the sign of violence. Also the police, right? And police dealing with crowds. So his natal promise dealt with him having to deal with crowds and him having to deal with the police monitoring and disciplining of crowds, okay? So Uranus also deals with walking, and he organized the march, all right? Organization is Saturn, and Uranus is a mass of collective people. So he organized a mass and class of people, and what he used to do that is Mercury sits in the sign that is in the middle of both of these aspects here, all right? It sits in the middle. So through his words and through speech and through oratory and through learning, this is what he did, all right? I want to also elaborate on the martial aspect in Gemini. Now, it's really deep, man, because there's people out there that have no idea of how, what the planets mean when we mention them. So we can't just speak for our astrology students here. We have to speak for people that don't know any difference, don't know any better, all right? Mars is the planet of motivation, and he had that in the sign of Gemini, which is the sign of communication, and through the sign of speaking, or being a communicator, all right? Because signs are adjectives, and planets are verbs. So the adjective here is that the speaker is the sign, is the adjective, and being Gemini says the speaker. And Mars is the noun or the verb, and so he used motivation, and he was motivational in his speaking, right? This here puts Uranus in the middle. Uranus is in the middle. Uranus and the moon really are in the middle. It forms a magic quad from Mars to the moon to Uranus to Saturn. That quad is indicative of his ability to organize and motivate crowds of people or masses of people. You see, what we're discussing, again, those of you who just turned in, right, who just tuned in, is what we call the natal promise. And the fact that you can look at a person's birth chart and tell, you know, what they will be motivated to do, you know, or what option they have to exercise with that regard. All right. To go in even further, let's talk about the initial prompt, which was Mars and Pluto here. All right. Mars and Pluto gives a person a great challenge to overcome with their father. Okay? Whether Saturn is in the picture or not. People that are born with Mars and Pluto within 30 degrees one of the other, whether they're in the same sign or not, whether they're in the same constellation in the sky or not, if these planets are less than 30 degrees apart, their energies will blend. And people who are born with this aspect have something to prove to their superiors. Now, if their father is removed from their life at a young age, then it turns into something to prove to their teachers or something to prove to their managers or their bosses. People are very industrious. They have an intense amount of strength and energy when it comes to exerting their will. This is the natal promise. Okay? So if you look at King's life and you look at Malcolm X's life, you see that they came up against challenges that seemed to the average individual insurmountable. And they exerted the extreme will to do so. Alright, they exerted their will in that manner without any without any hesitation, man. And both of them knew that what they were doing put their lives in danger. Now, Mars is the planet of courage, Pluto being the planet of intensity or magnification. They had a magnified amount, an insurmountable degree of will and courage to do so. Alright? In a few minutes, we're going to go to a commercial break. Alright? In about 2 minutes. So, stay tuned. Alright? We're going to deal with the natal promise of another chart of another individual soon. Alright? So, that'll come up after the commercial. Alright? And hopefully that'll happen.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back. All right.
Okay, we're off. We're off. You can talk.
All right, how many minutes?
Peace.
Yeah. Shit. Hey, MARKHU, what's up with your energy today, man?
My energy is here, man. I'm letting you speak at the same time. I'm speaking.
But you ain't really talking. You ain't putting no air. You acting as a student, not a mutual motherfucking contributor, nigga.
Peace, Marcus and Ra.
Yeah, what's up, Chan? You know
Yeah,
what
I've been here for the last few minutes. I heard everything from, dealing with Malcolm and Martin's chart and the points.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm gonna bring up another famous person's chart in a minute. All right. We're gonna have to also deal with midpoints with disregard. How you online, Reese, and I don't see you?
I don't know. I came online. I've been online for a minute. I just didn't want to interrupt you. Then you put DAUNTESS on, and I heard all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You knew who that was, right? Yeah. She's still on. She can hear. We got 7 people listening to the radio, on the radio. We don't have 7 people, we don't have 7 people online, though. We don't have anybody online. So, we don't have any callers today. And I suppose that's because, oh, yes, we do. We got,
40 seconds.
Alright, very well. We got quite a few people here. Alright, so,
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Alright.
Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're on.
Okay. We got a few callers online now, and I want to start taking calls. If there's any questions or any comments you have to make, please wait your turn. We're going to get to you. 716-935, you're in queue. 347-321, you're in queue. 951-656, you're in queue. Okay?
935 is me.
Okay, very well. 951-656, you're in queue. I don't see 935 here. At any rate, what I see is 716-935, right? Okay. We have 347-321. You have something you would like to say, or no? You just listening?
Yo, peace, everybody. It's Say Love.
Peace.
I'm on my Skype.
Excuse me?
I said I'm on my Skype, so it might not come in very clear.
Oh no, you're very clear. You're very clear. Would you like to elaborate, or would you like to make a comment, or do you have a question? You know?
Not really. I was just listening, enjoying the show. I don't really have a question.
Okay, very well. Well, that's the other person dropped offline, so we'll just pick back up where we at. Brother Reese, you have anything to say with regards to the natal promise and how you see it, and how you viewed it?
As far as how I use it, one of the things that I like to look at with the natal promise is one of the aspects called the North Node. And, a lot of questions that we get when reading some of the people, friends, clients, or whatever, is that, what is my purpose here? What am I here to do? And that's kind of one of my favorite things to do when reading someone, because it's exciting to see, what people have come or been manifesting in this life cycle in order to accomplish. So a lot of times I like to look into the North Node. We know that, back on Brother King's chart, which you were talking about, and using the Sagittarius rising chart, that his North Node fell into Taurus. And we know that Taurus is a sign of morality and morals and values. And so, this is why we knew that that it was his purpose to come here and to facilitate or to teach or to build on just such as those things. And where it fell into his chart, and as far as positioning and everything, it's kind of like the sixth house, seventh, from what I could see, it was actually kind of like the sixth house. And so, that means that, he had a very, very powerful and moralistic work ethic, and, we have stories, that he indulged in other things that weren't so moralistic, but that wasn't, those actions do not encompass his entire life's work, and so he had Chiron also that was in Taurus, and he had Jupiter that was there. And so when I look at that, I see that he actually came here and he did fulfill his purpose, which was, to greatly move people through morality and to have us look at our everyday selves and the routines that we perform as far as dealing with our spirituality and our knowledge. And so, I like to look at those kind of things like that and look at the North Node, because it does describe what you manifest in this lifetime to accomplish, your destiny, as it were,
Yeah, well, that's pretty good, man. That's excellent, because even though I was gonna save the North Node, it is very much a part of the natal promise. So I commend you for bringing that into the cipher. When we look at Brother Malcolm, we understand that Malcolm had the North Node in the sign of, let me see real quick here.
I think we got somebody's radio and
Somebody's radio.
I can hear somebody's feedback of,
Okay.
Radio.
I don't know how to resolve that, all right? Malcolm had the North Node in Leo. Okay? Leo is the sign. Leo is the sign of creativity and of attention. Okay? So the North Node in Leo indicated his purpose here was to be in the center and to command the attention of others, and through that means to do something constructive with it. Now we know that even though King had a great deal of exposure and acceptance, a wider degree of acceptance, and with the people, because the people that really weren't into the unconventional at that time in the 60s, to grasp or to grab hold to a foreign doctrine like Islam, or the Nation of Islam for that matter, it was considered pretty unconventional, where nowadays it's the norm. As usual, you became a Muslim, it's nothing, right? But back